Heiser has a recap of their story.
Missoula police received reports of gunfire and 3 victims shot near Stone Creek Lodge at Expressway in Missoula shortly before 11 p.m. on March 14th. Julie Blanchard had gone to pick up her son Casey Blanchard and his friend Shelley Hayes at a local bar. Court documents say the suspect followed them, flashing his lights. When they pulled over to see if something was wrong, he opened fire. Shelley Hayes was dead when officers arrived on scene. Hayes was a father, and according to those who knew him best, his entire world revolved around his little girl. Early in the morning on March 15th, while pursuing the suspect, Trooper Wade Palmer reported to dispatch that he was under fire. He was ambushed and shot in his patrol car. The next officer to arrive on scene found Palmer still seatbelted in his vehicle. The suspect was caught by law enforcement after a 7-hour manhunt along U.S. Highway 93 North. Both Trooper Palmer and Casey Blanchard were badly injured. Palmer had been shot in the face, head, and neck. Blanchard was shot in the left arm, right side of his chest, spine, abdomen, and both legs. Both were transferred to a hospital in Utah. The incident stunned all of Montana and was discussed throughout the nation. But now, Trooper Palmer and Casey Blanchard are finally home. The community of Stevensville, where both Blanchard and Palmer reside, made sure to show their support and give these 2 men a hero's welcome home.
One of the nicest guys, the most genuine people you can ask for. They're just good individuals that have done their job their entire lives.
Attorney General Tim Fox spoke at a press conference when Palmer returned home.
I want to recognize the Fraternal Order of Police, Utah chapter, who took care of the family's needs and the Montana Highway Patrol's needs, and indeed the needs of even some of the shooting victims who were ultimately transferred to the same hospital that Wade was in, Casey Blanchard and his wife Leah in particular. All of these organizations and individuals, including the Utah Highway Patrol, really went above and beyond the call to really take care of one of their own.
These men are now sleeping in their own beds in their hometown. But some of the most difficult challenges may be still yet to come.
Number one, that we all respect the privacy of Wade and his family, but that we continue to act in ways of love and support, not only for Wade and Lindsay and their family, but for all of the victims and their families of that shooting that tragic night. All of these individuals are worthy of our love and support. That's what Montana does best.
In Missoula, Lauren Heiser, MTN News.
Thank you, Lauren. And if you want to know how to help, more information can be found on ktvq.com. Well, early this morning, a 31-year-old lame deer man was killed in a single vehicle rollover crash. The crash happened at 7:30 a.m. and according to Montana Highway Patrol, the Chevy Impala was traveling westbound on Highway 212 at mile marker 39, where the car went off the right side of the road, then overcorrecting back to the left side, causing the vehicle to roll multiple times. The car came to rest in the eastbound lane. The driver was ejected and did die on scene. Speed is considered a factor in this crash. This is the 50th fatal crash on Montana roadways this year. Well, you may have noticed an increased amount of traffic in downtown Billings around 3rd Avenue North and Broadway. Well, this is because the Alberta Bear Theater has been closed in his ongoing renovations that started on May 6th. Now, Q2's David J. talked with the theater's management about the project and the construction's progress.
Crews work on the renovation of the Alberta Bear Theater.
They're right on track where they want to be, and it's certainly interesting to watch the changes every day and how much they accomplish.
Jan Dietrich, the executive director of the theater, says the demolition part involved taking out what was constructed in 1987.
They needed to take down that atrium part of the theater that was added so that we can come out over the sidewalks and gain the additional lobby space.
It's quite amazing to look at this part of the demolition and think about the improvements that are ahead, but for those involved in the project, they can see it all coming together.
Because we've been working on these plans now for 2 years or longer, I can't envision it, and I can hardly wait. The windows throughout the building over the additional space, and so that'll provide light into the space for the patrons, but also in the evening When it shows an event is happening, people on the outside will be able to see, what am I missing?
Some changes will help the performers.
There's so many things that go into it that really does need to be there for the production. We need to be able to provide that for them if we want to be able to present the kind of artists that the community wants.
Is this fun for you to see it from this window every day?
I love it. I love it.
David J., MTN News, Billings.
And David says the renovation is expected to be finished in the fall of 2020. In the meantime, the Alberta Bear Theatre will host shows at the Babcock Theatre, MSUB's Petro Theatre, and the Billings Public School's Lincoln Center Auditorium. Well, joining me now with weather is Rob Griggs, and it sure is a nice evening out there.
It is nice.
Yeah.
It's just watching that little bit about the Alberta Bear, that used to be, for the locals here, that used to be the Fox Theatre. I remember going to summer movies as a kid at the Fox Theatre.
Fun fact.
So, strolling down Broadway, going to the Fox Theatre. But I digress. You're right. It's a nice evening outside, which is where we were going. Take a look right now at the national map. You can see the western United States still pretty comfy. 56 over in San Francisco, Boise 75, Billings 76. We do have severe to strong thunderstorms all the way from, portions of Nebraska south through Colorado and right down in through Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico. Meanwhile, in the mid-Atlantic states from Charlotte all the way up through Boston, some bumpy weather there this evening as well. Right now around Montana, still kind of warm into the 70s, even 50s over there for Butte and for Dillon and Worland. 61 at Sheridan right now. And if you're wondering what's coming, here it is. Tomorrow, a 20% chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm, 86 for a high. We drop down to 57 for an overnight low. We'll give you all the details of what's beyond Monday for the work week forecast in just a minute. Zoe?
All right, thanks, Rob. Well, the weekend was beautiful, and a morning of exciting auctions followed by a relaxing atmosphere for car lovers today. Here in Billings, the Roaring 20s Auto Club gave car enthusiasts a chance to enjoy some classics all weekend long. The club held the auction yesterday and a swap meet for car parts on both days. Now, those attending the two-day car show were able to vote for their favorites. Their collectors say, it's important to preserve your classic cars.
A lot of it's nostalgia. A lot of us are older people that you love the cars that you had or you would like to have had when you were in high school. People tend to collect cars that they identify with from their youth, from their teenage years. Any of the part of our past that if we don't keep these old cars and have them running, well, the younger folks won't have an idea what it used to be like.
The Roaring 20s Auto Club has been running the swap meet for 49 years and the auction for the last 40. Well, one man is biking his way from New York City all the way to Alaska. This trip is part of John Schwenk's graduate research project in statistics, and he's pedaling his way through the state right now. MTN's Katie Miller caught up with him in Missoula.
John Schwenk is a 25-year-old researcher from New Jersey.
All of a sudden, a couple years ago, the doctors were like, hey, did anyone ever tell you you got a heart murmur?
He has an enlarged aortic root and bicuspid aortic valve. With his doctor's approval, he's biking almost 6,000 miles from New York City to Alaska.
Nothing motivates me more than doubt. I think doubt is one of the strongest emotions and strongest motivators in humans.
His parents tried to take a similar trip when they were his age.
Their Trans Am trail was what they were going to follow the majority of the way.
But it was cut short when they found out his mom was pregnant.
It was just too hard for her to kind of carry on the mission.
25 years later, he's using his dad's old bike to finish what they started.
They're obviously a huge inspiration for me, so I help them out,
The whole time, he's documenting everything and collecting data for grad research. He'll analyze 25 to 30 variables, including sleep, diet, and, of course, exercise. On Sunday, he's heading to Polson and then Whitefish, where he'll try to figure out how to get through Canada. In Missoula, Katie Miller, MTN News.
Thanks, Katie. And she says that Schwenk is going to continue the research at Texas A&M in the fall, where he'll tweak the variables for the second phase of research. Now, he doesn't have a computer with him right now, but he tries to update a website with his whereabouts. You can follow along at schwenk.live to see if he makes it. Well, stay with us. More to come on the 10 o'clock news. Nearly 1,700 cattle operations across Montana or mountain regional states, including Montana, will be surveyed this July. Find out why after the break. In sports, Scott has a look at the future of baseball in Montana in our Sunday conversation with John Casper of the Big Sky Conference.
You're watching MTN News with Zoe Zandora, Storm Tracker weather with Rob Griggs, and sports with Casey Conlon. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.